up, guys? Welcome back to the Twins Take podcast, and we got a really, really special episode with you guys today. Live in the UNC Football Facility, we got none other than Bryce Baker and Evan Haynes. Man, boys, thanks for coming on.
Man, you know it. Appreciate
Happy
you.
to be here.
Yeah, man. First of all, we gotta dive into this football season because it's coming around the corner. Is it surreal finally being like at college in the facility?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity to get to our goals, get to what we want to do in life. So I feel like we have a similar goal of making it to the NFL. And with Bill Belichick coming in, that just increases the opportunity even more. So he just put together like a routine for everybody. He brought in his own coaching staff, his nutritionist. He brought in a new weightlifting coach. So he set it up for us to get closer to those goals. So I'm blessed to be in this opportunity for sure.
Man, super excited for y'all. But coaching staff changing, how did that impact y'all's recruitment right at the end?
I mean, for me, like having all the old staff recruit me, and then them all leaving, going to new places, and getting a new staff. I mean, it's been a little different, but you know, that's just kind of what it is in college football nowadays. It's kind of the business side of it that some people just don't really understand. But it's definitely helped us to understand that part. But getting to know the new coaches have been great, and they've been going throughout the process with us, and we're getting ready to work with them next week come spring ball.
Bro, I wanted to tell you this because so we're on a cruise, and the whole speculation of like Bill Belichick coming to Carolina, like Jackson's kind of losing his mind because he's a diehard UNC fan, and I'm like, nah, that's not like there's no way in the world that's happening. And I remember we get on the cruise like right when so like your phones, you lose service, like it happens, and the like entire cruise like they're not from Charlotte, like they're all losing their minds, like it was crazy.
Wow.
And I remember I don't know if you decommitted, but you like reopened your recruitment process. Penn State kind of came in the like picture for a minute, and then you went with UNC. What were those couple of days like? Because I remember talking with Jackson, like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen with Bryce.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I was just trying to figure out what opportunity was best for me.
Sure.
And I definitely wanted to visit Penn State, see what they offered. And just to be honest with you, like, they checked all the boxes when I went there. Their crowd was electric. Their resources were, I mean, it was tough to compare just because, like, it was two totally different programs, but they had what I was looking for in their own way. So, but, I mean, God definitely led me back to UNC. And after a phone call with Coach Belichick, he kind of convinced me to just trust him and trust what he has bringing in, and ask all the hard questions about me playing early, about my development, about his plan to not only develop me but the team so we can have success, because football is a team sport. It can't just have all the success on your own. We have to win. So, but yeah, he checked all the boxes and led me back to UNC.
What's it like getting a call from Bill Belichick?
It was cool, but I kind of just took it for what it was. Like, I didn't want to put him on this super high pedestal to where it kind of altered my perception of him to where I kind of can't be myself around him. Because if you think of somebody like a superhero, it kind of lowers yourself. So, I mean, I humbly just took it for what it was, and I'm definitely grateful that it is Bill Belichick. But, yeah, I mean, he's my coach at the end of the day.
Man, excited for both of y'all. Y'all are roommating together, right?
Yeah.
So how's that? Did y'all know each other before starting of just joining classes here?
Yeah, so, you know, I've been on a couple of visits, and then Bryce was at every home game. And then going back to the OV, we were on that visit together. So, like, just throughout the visiting process, we've gotten to know each other better and better throughout that. So
I want to hear your recruitment process, man. So did you like play other sports in high school besides football, and like when did you kind of figure out like, man, I think I want to really pursue football?
Yeah, so freshman year I played football, lacrosse, and then I ran track.
Wow.
So
Doing
I did
everything.
those three. So freshman and sophomore year I did that, and then junior year I picked up basketball as well.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so when I was a freshman, I was going on to a lacrosse tournament. And, you know, UNC was like a halfway from my home in the tournament.
Yeah.
So we kind of just stopped by. We knew a couple people here. And so we were sitting in Dre Bly's office. He was a coach at the time. And we were just talking it up. And Josh Downs, he played here. We know him really well, so he was there too. And then Mac Brown walks in, and I get to meet him, stood up, shook his hand, and then he started talking to us. And I felt like I was on top of the world, you know, getting to talk to a head coach like that. And so that's kind of like, I already liked Carolina, but that kind of just bumped it up for me. And then after that, we had a conversation about maybe potentially doing 2 sports, and I was thinking about doing football and lacrosse. And then he was like, if you come here, it's more for football. And really after that moment, after I knew like I could really do this in football, then that's kind of when I started focusing mainly on football.
Dude, I can't imagine playing 2 sports in college. Like that's a whole nother commitment.
Yeah, it is
It's tough for
commitment.
sure.
Yeah, so now y'all are here. What are y'all most looking forward to, like going into like? And you said spring practice starts on Monday. What are y'all most looking forward to? Really, just getting started.
Consistently executing with success. I definitely feel like I put the preparation in, or I am preparing the best I can,
Sure.
just to have that success, and not only one day but consistently.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to like leading the guys and leading them to success as we go against the defense, as we compete with the other team, as I compete within the quarterback room. Like I'm just looking to have consistent success, and I feel like that'll overall help the team have success.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say for me, like you said, the preparation that we've had throughout the winter workouts, just seeing that kind of pay off and like seeing us to continue to progress, and then definitely going up against the defense because they've been talking a lot. We haven't really offense and defense works out separately, so we've had a lot of trash talk at meals and stuff. So actually to be able to get back into football and seeing like who's really about their talk.
Have y'all been able to get in some off-season throws before practice starts on Monday?
Yeah, for sure. Like last night we were actually throwing at the indoor facility, so we've done that a couple times and throughout the weeks.
So y'all have a pretty like good schedule coming in. What if is there a game like y'all look at going into next year and like, man, I can't wait for it? Is it all kind of just week by week?
Honestly, for me, the first game, I just want to – that would be the
Clemson.
game where I can –
TCU.
Oh, was it TCU?
TCU on Labor Day.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, just to see how everything works as I'm at a new stage, a new kind of position in my life. Like college football is different from high school, not only because like the competition, but the atmosphere, the preparation, the guys who I'm playing with, all of that. So I mean, just to feel that out, and yeah, I feel like it would be a cool feeling, a surreal feeling, and one that I haven't felt before.
Is it hard for y'all to balance the academic side with the athletic side here?
For me, nah, just because I'm big on preparation.
Sure.
So my method for that is every night I have a pocket calendar that I write specifically what I'm going to do the next day, just to help with my time management, to be as efficient with my time as possible. And within that, I'm just making sure I'm staying on top of my classwork, because it is a big part and a big commitment when it comes to a university like Chapel Hill. So make sure I'm ahead of that so I can keep the main thing, which is football.
Yeah, I've always thought, Bryce, like it's really cool how you speak about your faith in God, and I was really curious, like going through that whole process of saying you're going to UNC, to reopening your commitment, to reopening, like how big of an impact did your faith in God have like throughout that, and just kind of trusting Him, like man, it's all God's timing.
Yeah, I love that question because I'm here because of Him.
Yeah.
Through prayers, through signs, just through everything that's been falling in line to lead me to UNC, I feel like it's from God. And through prayers and like just through having a faithful spirit, like He's definitely led me to UNC, and I can confidently say that, which brings me joy and peace that I'm here now, just fulfilling what He led me to.
Yeah, man. I think that's amazing. I really think like that whole process was really cool. I mean, we just transferred schools mid-year, and I'm watching y'all do it midway through your senior year, and I can't imagine like making the jump from high school to college. Was it hard to make like that jump midway through your senior year, or was it kind of like did you feel like you accomplished and did everything you wanted to during your kind of last year in high school?
I mean, for me, like I've been preparing since freshman year to make that jump. You know, like I went to a private school, so just doing extra classes, dual enrollment classes to get extra credits going. So just stuff like that. And then, I mean, kind of towards the end, you kind of feel like that feeling of like, dang, this is really about to happen. But I feel like for me, going to the bowl game and doing that whole experience really helped with that, because it's kind of like a early taste of what you're about to get into. But I do kind of wish I could have ran my senior track season, but I mean, you know, it's just kind of a sacrifice you have to make to do something like this. So.
Yeah, I love that. For me, it was just living in the moment my whole senior year. And in doing that, it just helped me continue to make the most of the friendships I had around me, make the most of each practices I had with the guys. And one practice that comes to mind is we made it to the 4th round of playoffs, and that was during Thanksgiving week, and we practiced on Thanksgiving, which was on my birthday. So it was like super fun, and I just try to make the most of it, not to think too far about the game, but just to really like record, take pictures, and live in the moment, just trying to enjoy senior year, because I mean, now I'm at this new stage, I can't go back, and I don't want to go back just because I've lived in the moment.
I'm excited to play Georgia Tech.
Dude.
I can't wait because, a bunch of people going to be at that game for me. And one of my teammates went to Tech, so.
Really?
Yeah, so it's kind of like a.
What's the rivalry going to be like with your teammate going to Virginia Tech?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech. So what's that rivalry like?
I don't know. I mean, we've been playing together since, like, 4th grade, so it's definitely going to be a little bittersweet. Like, I definitely want to get the dub over him, but, at the same time. But in the lines, it's all business.
So since joining school here and being on campus, what's y'all's favorite thing about Chapel Hill?
I'd say the environment and the people. Like, I chose Chapel Hill partly because, like, it reminds me of where I grew up. Just, like, the environment. Like, the area is beautiful. There's a lot of trees, a lot of things to do outside. And then the people have been so nice. Like, you go to a college campus and you're kind of new on the block and you're like, oh, I don't know how the people are going to be. But Chapel Hill, really, the people are just very welcoming, very inviting. Like, when it snowed a couple times, we were walking around and we just throw snowballs at people and have a snowball fight. And I feel like some places you can't really just do that. So.
Yeah, I love that just because I agree with the environment part. Like, I love just going outside and being in nature. I find peace in that. And we have a beautiful campus with a lot of trees throughout our walking paths as we walk to class and back to our dorm. So I really appreciate that about Chapel Hill.
Yeah, I really want to know. I mean, y'all have not been here for a couple of weeks. Like completely on your own. You're not with your families anymore. You're here. What do y'all have any favorite like memories of being at Chapel Hill in like this short time?
Yeah, I say mine is being with the guys on the national championship. We were watching it in the hot tub in the training room together. And I feel like that was a good memory because we were just like bonding, but I mean, just taking mental reps, like visualizing ourselves there next year, like visualizing ourselves there throughout our college process. And I feel like that's a good memory that I want to make come true, like us playing in the national championship. So
I enjoy like now that we're not at home, like we can do stuff later at night and like being able to just go back to the dorm because it's like just a quick walk. So just being like you said, at the facility at night, just getting recovery or like doing the nighttime throwing sessions, like that's a lot of fun just because like it's like a different time than what we used to be able to do, and then we're right back to the dorm with a quick walk. So.
Bro, I think like y'all's chemistry is. I mean, it's obvious. Like y'all are gonna do so many big things while you're here at Carolina. I mean, you're stepping into some pretty big footsteps with Sam Howell, Drake May. Now you're coming in as the new quarterback. What are you most excited for to kind of take on your own legacy here at Chapel Hill?
Just being myself.
Yeah.
That's the best advice I got last night when I was throwing my trainer. I was just kind of kept mentioning other guys to me. He was just like, be yourself, Bryce, because you're one of a kind. God makes each of us different, so trying to replicate someone else's success isn't the best pathway for me. So I'm just looking to be myself, and through that, I feel like people can appreciate that about me and just respect the grind that I uniquely formulate, and then, just produce on the field the way I can.
So, man, the season's going to be a lot of fun. What's the legacy that y'all want to leave behind at Chapel Hill going through? I know y'all just got here, but what's the biggest thing you're wanting to leave here over your time here?
I want to fulfill my purpose at my time during Chapel Hill, and I feel like that purpose is continue to be a leader to those around me and continue to be the example. I feel like God put me on this team to act as in discipline, to be one of the hardest workers on the team, and to act faithfully, to have the fruits of the Spirit, which is joy, peace, self-control. Just continue to live in that mindset, and then just hopefully be that example to those around me.
Awesome.
I remember getting off the podcast we did earlier this year, and I went to Jackson. I was like, I don't know that I've ever met somebody like so grounded in their faith, but like just so humble on top of that. When do you feel like your like faith in God really started to grow to where it is now?
I feel like during my time during the recruiting process,
Yeah.
which is crazy because that can be a stressful time for many. But for me, it just guided me to put my trust in
Yeah.
God because I had everybody giving me the best shot to get me at universities across the country.
Yeah.
So it was tough to like go at it on my own and like take and try to understand everything on my own because it's just tough when you have all that weight on your shoulders. But just to talk through it with my family, to pray about it, and then just to trust the signs that God was showing me. I feel like my faith definitely grew during that time, and that was during my sophomore year, or sophomore spring going into junior year.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when my faith just definitely grew, and I feel like it had to because I couldn't do it all on my own.
Yeah, I feel like going off of that, like throughout the recruiting process, like there's so many ups and downs that like if you're not grounded in something, you don't have support with you, then it can get so like you can get so lost in it because like some coaches they'll just say what they like want to say what you want to hear, but then at the end of the day they don't really look out for like what's best for you, and God really just shows you like the up, like he guides you through the ups and downs, like he carries you through the path. So it's really important to just rely on him throughout it all.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Like y'all have chemistry, you both have faith. What's kind of the most exciting thing about like your time at UNC? Or y'all want to go play in the NFL like in the future? What's kind of like your goal like past UNC?
Yeah, so definitely first of all getting a degree because this degree will set you up for the rest of your life.
Oh, for sure.
You know, Chapel Hill, when people hear that, it's like, dang, he had to put in some work. And then definitely want to do my time here and definitely be as good as I can be here, but I ultimately want to make it to the league. You know, my dad played in the league, so yeah, he did. So I want to be better than him, and you know, that's always the goal, to be better than the people that came before you.
Little family competition.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for me, it's just continue to fulfill that purpose that I feel like God put in my heart. And through that, I feel like it's just to continue to utilize the platform that he gave me to continue to lead others towards him. And I feel like through that, that's just having success playing football, being the best I can be, setting that example. And I feel like that'll ultimately lead me to the NFL as I stay consistent in my routine. Definitely thankful for that opportunity, but that's where I see myself.
How do y'all enjoy the quarterback and wide receiver room so far?
I definitely enjoy it. It's definitely a good competition throughout because everybody's stepping into this new situation, new playbook, new coaching staff. Like everybody's at a ground level right now, and controlling what we control, we each can control our destiny from here. Who's ever the most consistent, who's ever the best leader. So it's a lot of competition in the room, but I definitely feel like we have good enough chemistry to everybody understand where it's coming from and not take it to heart, and we're still boys.
What do y'all feel like is the biggest like obstacle you had to overcome to get where you are today? Because it's always easy to look at like, man, I'm at Carolina finally, and it's like people always look at like an athlete as, man, they're so amazing, but like it's hard to like realize like it took them to do X, Y, and Z to finally get here. Like it doesn't just happen. What do you feel like the biggest obstacle for y'all was to get here, and then how did you overcome it?
For me, I'd say staying disciplined is definitely a difficult thing that you have to learn early.
Yeah.
And like kind of like how I mentioned earlier, just taking the extra classes, staying disciplined through that, like making sure all the work's done on time, making sure, because like some people, they'd be like doing what they do in the summer. I'd be in summer school just because I want to get that extra credit, and just knowing that like, oh, I have to do this to get to that goal. And then just staying disciplined throughout the season and like not trying to think I'm bigger than what I really am, because at the end of the day, I'm still a guy who's playing football, trying to get better. And just because there's backing behind my name doesn't mean I'm better than my teammate at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, just piggybacking off what Evan said, the discipline part is big. Just having one thing I learned at Elite 11 when I was there over the summer is about FOMO and FOPO. FOMO is a fear of missing out, and FOPO is a fear of other people's opinions. So the one I focused on was fear of missing out, because it takes discipline, and you're going to have to say no. Like, there's power in no, to making sure you're staying purposeful with your time to get to get closer to your goals. And the big word in that, like Evan said, is discipline. So just striving to stay disciplined is is the biggest growing stone I feel like you have to overcome to get to your goals.
Yeah, I feel like going off of that again, just like missing out on things. Like even in college, like there's so much more things you're able to access. Like people go to parties, people go out to the bars, people do this, people do that. But like you have to stay disciplined in that because especially this year, we plan to win a lot of games and we plan to become names on campus and people are going to want us to go to those things. But at the end of the day, we come here to play football and like that's all cool, but you have to focus on what's important first, and God brought us here for this reason to play football and to lead others in the right direction. So,
love that.
Boys, that's a great answer.
I love that answer.
Last question I really wanted to ask y'all was, Bryce, I know you went through the whole Elite 11 process, and both of y'all played some really high-ranked guys coming out of high school. How important was it for y'all when playing against those guys to, like, I guess learn from them and then take it into your own game?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's important to learn from others, but at the end of the day, just continue to be your unique self. So I had a teammate, or I had a roommate at Elite 11, high-profile guy, and just learning off of each other's a super cool opportunity that you can't just take for granted, and you don't want to be closed off to anybody because I feel like connections are big in this day of age. So, just networking is big, but at the end of the day, being your own self and like you're there to compete. So like, yes, be friendly, yes, be cool, but get what's yours, compete.
yeah, I think like that's another thing that people fail to realize. Like even though you're in college and you're here to help your teammates, you're also competing with them. So like in a quarterback room and receiver room, like those guys are our teammates, and I hope the best for them. But at the same time, like you have to hope the best for yourself, and you have to bet on yourself because you're there to compete. And just like in high school, just playing against other guys who were highly rated at corner and at safety, just knowing that I'm gonna see them again. Like some guys, like a kid last year, senior year, he's going to NC State. Like that's another ACC school that we play often. So just being able to see the competition then, and then seeing like how he plays now, and just knowing that going into like future competition and just getting better off of that is definitely important. So
yeah, y'all had some amazing teammates. You're gonna have some amazing teammates here, and I love that y'all are gonna work with them and really push each other to be really the best athletes you can be. UNC is in for
Can't
a
wait
year.
for the new season with Bill Belichick and the two of y'all. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Boys, thanks for coming on. We appreciate y'all. That was clean, boys.
Yeah, good stuff, dog.
Yeah, appreciate y'all, man.
All right, good stuff.
Thank you so much, Bryce and Evan, for hopping on this episode of the Twins Take podcast. Man, that was such a cool experience getting to go down to the UNC Football Facility. We couldn't have asked for a better time, and we're just really excited to see what UNC is going to do this offseason and this upcoming season with Bill Belichick. Can't wait to catch him this fall. TCU first game, Monday Night Football. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, like Jackson said, we really had the time of our lives. Getting to see the UNC Football Facility was really unreal. But I think the thing I really took away was Evan and Bryce are really just great guys. It's been such a good time getting to know them over the past year and through the podcast. And we're really excited to see what God's plans are for them in the next couple of years. And we're just going to sit back and watch. Guys, thank you so much for hopping on this episode of the Twins Take Podcast. If you have any questions for us, please feel free to email us at the twinstakepodcast@gmail.com. We're on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, so feel free to subscribe and give us a listen. And we're on Instagram too, so please feel free to follow us on Instagram. We love all you guys. God bless you. Peace.